Hi everyone, I'm Will. Welcome back to my channel. Regular viewers of this channel will know that I'm a huge proponent of immersion as the best way to learn a language. Based on my experience of becoming fluent in Chinese within 1.5 years, I found the more you surround yourself with the language, the faster you'll progress. Now, whenever I bring up this topic, I notice a lot of learners, teachers, and polyglots tend to relegate conversations to the margins. They'll claim that you should stick to passively reading and listening to graded readers, podcasts, and TV dramas, and only start having conversations when you reach a super high level of comprehension. But in this video, I'm going to explain why having conversations in Chinese was the single biggest factor contributing to my speed of success. And I'll give 5 reasons as to why conversations are the best form of immersion. Now, before we get into this properly, a quick disclaimer for everyone. As I've mentioned lots of times before, there is no right way to learn a language. Everyone has their own personality type, learning style, and there are loads of different factors involved to learning Chinese to a high level. But that said, since I often get asked to explain how I learned to speak fluent Chinese so quickly, I wanted to make a video to highlight the importance of conversations in my language learning routine. So without further ado, let's get started with number 1. Conversations are relevant to your life. When you engage in conversations with friends or language exchange partners, the vocabulary used by the other person is much more likely to be relevant to your life and what's important to you than when you watch random characters chat with each other on the TV screen. Added to this is the fact that you're likely to have some say in the direction that the conversation takes and the topic that you choose to discuss. All of this makes it easier to stay engaged for longer, enabling you to gain more input appropriate to your level and learn more relevant vocabulary than if you just purely take a passive approach. Number 2, conversations force your brain to process the language in real time. The consequences of not understanding what people say is much greater when you're part of the conversation rather than when you're not. Now, this makes having conversations super daunting at first, and I totally get that. But the more your brain is challenged to process Chinese messages in real time, the swifter you'll be able to do so. So let's say you're out for dinner with your friend, and when the meal is over, your friend says to you, "那我们结账吧." If you're not able to process this in real time, your friend's going to look a bit awkwardly at you when you try and lump the bill on him. Point number 3. Conversations train your muscle memory. One of the most challenging aspects of learning Chinese is being able to produce all the sounds of the language at a natural speed. This is especially difficult for tones because our mouths, throats, voice boxes, we've never had to produce these sounds before. A lot of people learn to produce each tone correctly, but when they speak, they sound a bit robotic, or worse, like they're in pain. Now, there's only one solution to this problem. You need to practice and you need to speak a lot. It's only through engaging in lots of conversations long into the night that you ever train your muscles to speak Chinese on autopilot, enabling you to master the art of delivering Chinese fluently, confidently, and with ease. Point number 4, conversations strengthen your memory. There's a wealth of scientific evidence that demonstrates we remember things best when we can actually tie that information to personal experiences. So let's imagine you're playing a board game with a Chinese friend, and after they've taken their turn, they suddenly point at you and say the phrase 轮到你 or 该你了. You've never heard that phrase before, but you can work it out from the context, from that situation, that it roughly means it's your turn. So these show that you're much more likely to remember this phrase and be able to use it in future as if it appeared in a random podcast episode that wasn't really tied to the experience you've lived through yourself. Point number 5, you'll get valuable feedback. When we learn Chinese, we're inevitably going to have lots of blind spots, problems with our language ability which are obvious to native speakers, which are pretty much imperceptible to our non-native ears. These can include tone mistakes, bad grammar, odd word choice, and other problems that can easily go missed if we're not corrected on them. And it's only through getting feedback on these mistakes through conversations with native speakers that we can become aware of them and then are able to improve. So that's it for my 5 top reasons why conversations are the best form of immersion. Just to reiterate, I'm really not saying that you shouldn't be engaging in more passive forms of immersion such as listening to podcasts, TV dramas and movies. All of these are great and played a massive role in my learning too. But hopefully today I've given you some food for thought about the importance of conversations. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do conversations play a big role in your Chinese learning routine? And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye for now, 再见.